Yo sup, MY3 again. Ulti-Kimunfalcos. Ritual Beast Ulti-Kimunfalcos is the new Ritual Beast Link monster in the Link Rings pack. We're probably going to get this pack in the TCG in like March or something, because there's usually a special set in March, but there's nothing announced yet, so we don't really know. Now, this is the main reason why my 2 videos were delayed, because there was a bit of translation error. So I made a whole video talking about why this card was terrible. But once that translation error stuff was cleared up, this is actually a really decent card. Getting into the artwork, we have Ritual Beast Tamer Elder at the front here, and at the back we have Winder riding on top of Falco. Now of course, if anyone knows the dual terminal storyline or have watched my videos on the dual terminal storyline, will know that Winder and Falco were dead, but now they're revived as the Zephyr War ended. Falco was Elder's old steed before it died, and Elder got Carnahawk. Of course, Elder still has Carnahawk, so you can't like ride 2 birds at once, although that'll be pretty badass old man riding 2 birds. It makes sense for Winder to ride it, because of course Winder doesn't have a steed to ride yet, and Elder, well, who used to be Kamui, Winder and Kamui used to be pretty much twins, kind of. You know, Elder's looking pretty happy that Winder's riding his old buddy Falco. As for the stats, Wind, Psychic, Link 2, arrows pointing bottom left, bottom right, so it opens up 2 slots if this is in the extra monster zone. 1800 attack, so it mirrors Winder's defense value. Materials requiring 2 Ritual Beasts to make. So this is one of the few non-generic Link monsters released in the Link Rings pack, along with like the Gladiator Beast one and like the Elsworm one. We'll just talk about the stats and stuff for a while before we get into the effect. So being a Psychic, it shares an attribute with Ulti-Kimunfalcos, which is kind of a shame because, you know, Rampingu could already dump Psychics through Kimunfalcos. Feels like a bit of wasted potential. It would have been really cool as a Thunder, just because the TCG has Ulti-Carnahawk at 1, so Rampingu can't dump Carnahawk. I guess since this is the OCG guys who made it, you know, Ulti-Carnahawk is at 3 over there, so I guess they don't really care about this aspect. It is a Ritual Beast Ulti, which is pretty cool. We can make Ulti-Kimunfalcos with this. Well, I guess you need one of each. Tamer, Spiritual Beast, and Ulti. But anyways, as effects. First effect, Ritual Beast monsters linked to this card gain 600 attack and defense. You know, that's never a bad thing. It's nothing too overwhelming, but it's never a bad thing. It opens up all of the OTKs that were lost to Master Rule 4, but that was going to happen anyways once the Bladefly retrain comes out. Yeah, 600 attack and defense is alright. It makes like your Ulti-Carnahawk from 14, 16 into 2k 2200. So it's like something that anything can run over into something that most things can't run over, and like force your tag out and stuff like that. So it's like never a bad thing to have makes OTKs easier. And then you have like the 500 that Apelio gives. I can see your monsters getting pretty big. It's a shame that this doesn't get like plus 600 as well. Like, it would have been great, because then this would have been an out 2 bag Suka. I mean, no one can complain with this. It's obviously strictly a positive effect. Well, I guess unless like you get Ragnar Zeroed or something. Second effect. So this effect is hard once per turn. You can banish 1 Ritual Beast card in your graveyard. Immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon 1 Ritual Beast monster from your hand. So this was the thing that was mistranslated, because it was first translated into Special Summon, which makes it completely terrible and an impractical effect to use. But now that it's normal summon, it has a lot of synergy with the deck. And also, let's just like appreciate how loosely restricted this is. You can banish 1 Ritual Beast card, so it's not even like monster cards. And you just normal summon 1 Ritual Beast from your hand. It doesn't like need to be summoned to a position that this link marker points to, or like anything stupid like that. It just has the one restriction that keeps it in check, which is the hard once per turn. A huge contrast to the Zephyr card that we just talked about, which has, you know, the hard once per turn and all of these like 10 annoying restrictions on it just because it's a Zephyr. But yeah, normal summon. So this effect is pretty much what Ritual Beast Return should have been. Now Ritual Beast Return also banishes Ritual Beasts from your graveyard and puts monsters from your hand onto the field. Now, special summoning those monsters not only eats up the hard once per turn special summon condition on all Ritual Beast monsters, it also doesn't trigger effects like Lara, Wen, Windy Rampilica. And on the topic of being able to normal summon something like Lara and revive something, so this converts the additional monsters in your hand into more Ulti-Kimunfalcos searches. Obviously, it depends on what the monsters were. Being able to summon Lara and revive something from the graveyard, that makes Rampingu much better. The Rampingu combos, Elder Rampingu. Of course, you're also going to be stealing for more. Yeah, this effect does a lot for the archetype. We'll probably come back to it. The third effect, during either player's turn, you can return this card you control to the extra deck and tag out into a Ritual Beast Tamer and a Spiritual Beast in defense position. So this is the same as all of the fusions. So, there's not much to talk about there. Of course, having it is cool. You can dodge things, you can steeds for more. You can open up your extra monster zone again, I guess. Because, you can summon 2 extra deck monsters to the 2 link markers that this points to. Tag this out into like 2 windows and then overlay for another rank 4 into the extra monster zone that you just freed out. Yeah, as for the combos that this opens up, I've already talked about how the second effect can change your excess monsters in your hand into additional Ulti-Kimunfalcos searches, as well as always having a bigger field presence after these turn 1 combos. This being an ulti that lets you normal summon like a Lara, which can bring back a Spiritual Beast, means you can always first turn Gaia-Pelio now with just simple hands like Elder Kimunfalcos or something. Of course, clogging up your 1 extra monster zone with ulti Gaia-Pelio that can't tag out would hinder your game plan a lot. If you're protecting a really important floodgate games 2 or 3, your opponent's probably only going to have like 1 way to deal with that floodgate, and then you just 1 negate off the Gaia-Pelio and then they're screwed. Now, one thing to note that is missing on this effect card text is that it doesn't have the must be special summoned by a certain method, which means this is the only OT that can be revived by Wen, Lara, or Rampilica, which is kind of cool because we're reviving a Link 2 monster, and Link monsters are the best monsters to make Link monsters because this counts as 2 materials. We're making a Link monster. 2 materials for a Link summon. So if we're going into more Link heavy combos, each time a Lara revives this, it's like reviving 2 things, like 2 materials. That's really cool. This also doesn't have, can only be special summon once per turn restriction, of course, because it's an OT. That's really interesting as well, because now there's 1 revivable Ritual Beast monster that can be special summoned as many times as you feel like in a turn. So before, we had 5 Spiritual Beasts, if we include Winder. You tag out, and then you've used a special summon on 1 of them, you tag out, you use a special summon on 1 of them. Normal summon Lara and bring 1 back, you use the special summon on like another one, so we're on like 3 now. And then you might special summon 1 with Oracle of Zephyr, so we special summon 4 now, and then you like tag out into another one, you special summon all 5 now. Now what if we replace the one that we special summoned with Lara with this? Now we get 1 more thing we can special summon. And then this gives us another normal summon, and we, summon a Zephyr and Pelica, and then bring another one of these back. Now we have, like just 2 of these could make a Link 4. We could make like a Firewall Dragon off this, and then use the rest to like make another Firewall Dragon. Your tag in and tag outs, we're already gonna special summon all 5 of the Spiritual Beasts and like all 5 of the Tamers already. So I can see Ritual Beasts doing some crazy Link summoning combos with this actually. Another thing to mention is when we bring this back with Lara, it can still tag out. So that's a great recovery play. If you have 2 banished and this in the graveyard, and you have a Lara, normal summon Lara, bring this back, tag out into the 2 banished ones. Now you got 3 guys, and then probably, proceed into your Ulti-Kimunfalcos loops. Probably search like a Zephyr and Pelica or something, do some Link summoning, additional normal summons, Zephyr and Pelica. That sounds like a pretty good recovery play to me. But yeah, that's my thoughts on this card. Can't wait to play around with what kind of combos this card can pull off when it comes out. But again, it has to be mentioned that Ritual Beasts are pretty outdated in terms of their consistency and stuff. They were considered pretty consistent in 2015, but 2018 is when this card is going to come out for us, and we just have to hope that we can break the underlying consistency issues of Ritual Beasts.